So I remember this old study and slash discovery that I found in Exodus 26. So I'm gonna go over that with y'all and also do some reading too, and maybe additional studying. I don't know how much I'm gonna do, but I did share two of these shocking discoveries in Exodus 26 already on my channel, but I didn't share the other two that I found in Exodus as I kept reading. And God willing, I can find them and note them down tonight. Um, I probably noted them down, I'm sure, in the past in another book, but after I moved back to my grandma's house, I don't have everything here with me yet. It's a lot of stuff still in the storage unit, so I'm gonna go and get all this information again and write it down, because this is a part of my other study to get the differences between the Masoretic text and the Latin not Latin Vulgate, but the Septuagint, if I said it properly. So anyway, Exodus 26, verse 1 on the left. By the way, I turned my audio down because I noticed it was a little bit too loud lately. So on the left, that's the side we're going to mainly read from, but here and there we'll read from the right as well. So on the left, which is the LXX, it says, "Now you shall make the tent using 10 curtains of fine linen." And I'm going to ask y'all, can y'all notice, or do y'all notice the difference between this verse and the Masoretic text? I'm gonna let y'all try to figure it out before I tell you. And if you get it right, you can comment later on in the video if you did. So it says, "Now you shall make the tent using 10 curtains of fine linen, twisted in blue and purple and blue and purple and scarlet twisted yarn. You will make them cherubim." Did I skip something? No, I didn't. "You will make them cherubim in weaver's work." And that's what it says on the left. On the right, it says, "Moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with," this is the Masoretic text, "tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twisted linen." Excuse me. And blue, excuse me. Excuse me. Twisted linen and blue, excuse me, purple and crimson yarns. You shall make them with cherubim skillfully worked into them. Okay. There was no difference between that. At least the difference that I was talking about wasn't between these two. It's actually between the Latin Vulgate and these two. So I got to go to the Latin Vulgate so y'all can see it. The Latin Vulgate is, do I have three? Wait a minute. I got this and this. Wow. I didn't know I had two different internet things, browsers. So here's the Latin Vulgate. Okay. Hopefully y'all can remember what was just said, and let me know if y'all catch any difference. Just to recap before I read that, I'm going to read the Masoretic text. This one says, "And you make the dwelling place with 10 curtains of twined linen and blue and purple and scarlet with cherubim, the work of a designer. You make them." Now, Latin Vulgate. "And you shall make the tabernacle in this manner. You shall make 10 curtains of fine twisted linen and violet and purple and scarlet, twice dyed, diversified with embroidery." Now, y'all let me know if y'all caught that difference. If y'all didn't, I'm going to tell you in a minute. So I'm going to give y'all 30 seconds from, it just turned 1:06 a.m. So I'm going to give y'all 30 seconds to see if y'all can type in the comments if you want the difference or what wasn't there that was in the other. I'm going to wait a little bit before I tell y'all what it is. I guess I could go get something to drink real quick. I didn't think about that till now. All right, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer and tell y'all what it is. All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. So the cherubim is the word that is missing in the Latin Vulgate. I'm gonna go back up and read from the other manuscripts. This is the Masoretic text. It says, "And you do make the tabernacle 10 curtains of twin linen and blue and purple and scarlet with cherubs. Work of a designer, you do make them." And I'm gonna come back down to the Latin Vulgate just to verify. "And you shall make the tabernacle in this manner. You shall make 10 curtains of fine twisted linen and violet and purple and scarlet, twice dyed, diversified with embroidery. There is no cherubs, cherubims, none of that." Some translations even say winged creatures or something like that. None of that's in there. And this happens 4 times in Exodus, between Exodus 26 and I think chapter 36. I gotta go back and find the last one. I found 3 out of the 4 so far. We're gonna go and check out the other one right now. So if y'all got that right, y'all can let me know. But if y'all did participate, if you didn't, that's cool. But that is something I caught in the past when I was reading this, and I can't recall how I found it, but I think the original story is on my YouTube video about it. So let's go to Exodus 26, I think 35. I could be wrong, but I think that's the second one. I might as well just read from here on down. Yeah. No, I kind of want to skip it. All right, let's see if it's 35. I think it says, "And you shall place." This doesn't look like. Nah, that's about the Oh, it's 36. Looks like it says, "And you shall make a screen out of blue and purple and scarlet twisted yarn and fine twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer." But I didn't see cherubims in that. So let me see what the Masoretic text say here. For 36, "You on the right, you shall make a screen for the entrance of the tent of blue, purple, and crimson yarns of fine twisted linen." Okay, cherubims wasn't in that one either. So that might not have been it. I think it's got to be talking about the curtains. Okay, that's the end. So I wonder what verse was it. Look, I only know these verses by heart. Here we go, curtain. What verse is this? Oh, wait. Talking about the curtain. Not the right one, though. Here it is. 31. Got it. I thought it was 35. Well, this one says cherubim. On the right, it says, "You shall make a curtain of blue, purple, and crimson yarns and of fine twisted linen. It shall be made with cherubim skillfully worked into it." Now I gotta go down to 31. And you shall make a veil out of blue and purple and scarlet twisted yarn and fine spun linen. You shall make it a woven work with cherubim. Okay, so those both say cherubim. The LXX in the Masoretic text, the Latin Vulgate should not. Let's check it out. Where you at, Latin Vulgate? And you shall, oh wait, that's still Exodus 26, verse 1. We got to go to Exodus 26, verse 31. All right. It says, you shall make also a veil of violet and purple and scarlet, twice dyed, and fine twisted linen wrought with embroidered work and goodly variety. Doesn't say cherubim. So that one. So let me write these notes in real quick. LXX says it. MT says it. This pen is like, seems like it's running out of ink or something. It's giving me trouble. It's horrible. But the Latin Vulgate omits. Let's check the Samaritan Pentateuch. I don't know what the Samaritan Pentateuch says. It's been so long since I checked. It's real small. That's better. 31. Oh, I see it. Cherubims. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet of fine twisted linen of cunning work with cherubims shall it be made. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go to Exodus 30. Is it chapter 35 or 36? I think it's 36, 35. Let me just type 36. I think it's 35. I was 36. I was wrong. It's verse 8. So the Samaritan Pentateuch has it. taking notes. I think that the Masoretic text in the LXX has it too. Let me see what the Latin Vulgate say. No, the Latin Vulgate is not going to have it. So I went to the wrong verse, or did I? Oh, okay, this is the other verse. Okay. Looks like I found the 4 verses. So the Latin Vulgate says, excuse me, and all the men that were wise of heart to accomplish the work of the tabernacle made 10 curtains of twisted fine linen and violet and purple and scarlet, twice dyed with varied work and the art of embroidering. Nothing about cherubims there. Now we got, let's go to verse 8. The LXX, and everyone wise among the workers made the garments of the holy things which were for Aaron the priest. This sounds different. Just as the Lord commanded Moses. Yeah, that's different. Maybe it's verse 10. The verses and chapters sometimes be different. Let's see what it say. It says the LXX chapter 36, 8 through 40 equals Hebrew chapter 39, 1 through 31. Yeah, so the stuff got mixed up. So this is Exodus 36, 8. And it's saying that 8 through 40 is the equivalent to chapter 39, 1 through 31. So what chapter does it give me over here? Okay, so over here in verse 8 looks the same as it should be. And it does have cherubim there. Okay, so what chapter is this? $36. Okay. Hmm. I'm going to probably have to read this. I got an idea. It says, making the priestly garments. Well, where's the curtains? Making the, nah, not that. I think I know why I found this missing thing, because I was surprised to see it say that cherubims or angels was to be made in the curtains. And I don't remember that before when I read the Bible. I'm like, wait a minute. Cherubims was made in the curtains? I'm like, I don't remember that. So I think that's what stood out to me when I found this. And I found out how some of them don't even say the cherubims was made into the curtains, and some of them do. I'm like, didn't know that. Something made me just start looking.
How are they gonna make those?
And nobody talks about that either.
Okay. No.
Construction of the tent. Here it is. And they made the 10 curtains for the tent. The length of the one curtain was it's not it yet. There it is. So it's Exodus 37:3. I'm making a note. Samaritan Pentateuch, Masoretic, LXX. Okay, we're 1, 2, 3. And the Latin Vulgate doesn't say it. Last one. Exodus 36:35. So it's probably going to be in the Septuagint, Exodus 37:38, maybe? Mm-hmm. Wait, it's right here. Wow. Looks like it's verse 5. I thought it was going to be Exodus 37:38. I'm curious, what does the Septuagint say right here? If I can find it. There it is. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So 30, there we go. I don't know how I passed it so fast. Taking notes. I think the Samaritan Pentateuch says it too. But I haven't checked. 31 or 35. It says it too. Okay, done with that part. Now I could just read. I'm thirsty though, so let me grab something.
Now you shall make the tent using 10 curtains of fine linen, twisted and blue and purple, and scarlet twisted yarn. You will make them cherubim in weaver's work. The length of the one curtain is 8 and 20 cubits, and the one curtain will be 4 cubits in width. The same measurement will be for all the curtains. 5 curtains will be with each other, one next to the other, and 5 curtains will be joined, one with the other. And you shall prepare for them blue loops on the edge of the first curtain, linked to the first part the connection, and you shall do so on the edge of the outer curtain at the second coupling. You shall prepare 50 loops for the first curtain, and you shall prepare 50 loops linked to the part of the curtain at the second coupling, opposite and corresponding loops to each other at each location. And you shall prepare 50 gold rings, and you shall join the curtains one to the other by the rings, and the tent will be one unit. And you shall prepare curtains of goat's hair as a protective covering over the tent. You shall prepare 11 curtains. The length of each curtain is 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. The 11 curtains will have the same measurements. And you shall join 5 curtains together and the 6 curtains together, and you shall double the 6th curtain toward the front of the tent. And you shall prepare 50 loops at the edge of the protective leather covering, one at the middle at the coupling, and you shall prepare 50 loops along the edge of the protective leather covering where the second connects.
All right, I'm back.
And you will prepare 50.
I done missed a lot of that trying to get something to drink. I need to get some wireless headphones. I do, but they're in the other room. I need something that hooks up to this though. I just need a longer wire, I guess. It's probably another way to. I'll figure something out. Let's go.
The length of the one curtain is 8 and 20 cubits, and the one curtain will be 4 cubits in width. The same measurement will be for all the curtains. 5 curtains will be with each other, one next to the other, and 5 curtains will be joined, one with the other. And you shall prepare for them blue loops on the edge of the first curtain, linked to the first part the connection, and you shall do so on the edge of the outer curtain at the second coupling. You shall prepare 50 loops for the first curtain, and you shall prepare 50 loops linked to the part of the curtain at the second coupling, opposite and corresponding loops to each other at each location. And you shall prepare 50 gold rings, and you shall join the curtains one to the other by the rings, and the tent will be one unit. And you shall prepare curtains of goat's hair as a protective covering over the tent.
I did not know that.
You shall prepare 11 curtains. The length of each curtain is 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. The 11 curtains will have the same measurements. And you shall join 5 curtains together and the 6 curtains together, and you shall double the 6th curtain toward the front of the tent. And you shall prepare 50 loops at the edge of the protective leather covering, one at the middle at the coupling, and you shall prepare 50 loops along the edge of the protective leather covering where the second connects. And you will prepare 50 bronze rings, and you will join the rings with the loops, and you will connect the curtains, and it will become one piece. And you shall let the excess of the protective curtains of goat's hair of the tent hang down, you shall fold it down behind the tent. The cubit from this side and the cubit from that side from what remains of the protective leather coverings from along the length of the protective leather coverings of the tent will serve as a covering on the sides of the tent, on one side and on the other, so that it is concealed. And you shall make a covering for the tent from ram skins dyed red and coverings of blue skin on top. And you shall make pillars for the tent out of wood that does not deteriorate. You shall make each pillar 10 cubits, and the width of each pillar a cubit and a half. 2 joints for the one pillar, each corresponding one to the other, so you shall do for all the pillars of the tent. And you shall make pillars for the tent, 20 pillars on the side toward the north. And you shall make 40 gold bases for the 20 pillars, 2 bases for each pillar for both of its joints. And the other side, which faces toward the south, 20 pillars. And there 40 gold bases.
I do not remember
2
20
bases
pillars.
for each pillar for both of its joints. And from the area behind the tent with respect to the part facing toward the sea, you will make 6 pillars. And you shall prepare 2 pillars for the corners of the tent on the backside. And it will be the same below and in the...
I got an idea. Because I want to see a lot of this instead of looking at it from a parallel view. We're going to do it like this.
And it will be the same below and in the same respect, they will be equal from the heads up to one juncture, so you shall make for both.
What the heck just
Let them
happened?
be for the...
What happened to my other tab? They replaced? Okay. Well, I'll just make this what I was trying to do. And I'll just what a view at. They changed the way it looks. Okay. That's not what I was looking for. It's this one. Put that on there. Put that in there. Now I'll keep that there. All right, let's go.
And it will be the same below and in the same respect, they will be equal from the heads up to one juncture, so you shall make for both, let them be for the 2 stabilizing structures. And there will be 8 pillars and their silver bases, 16, 2 bases for one pillar for both of its joints and 2 bases for the other pillar. And you will prepare stabilizing bars of wood that does not deteriorate, 5 for each pillar on one side of the tent. And 5 stabilizing bars for the pillar on the one side of the tent, and 5 stabilizing bars for the pillar at the back side of the tent toward the sea. And the central stabilizing bar will pass through between the pillars from one side to the other side. And you shall overlay the pillars with gold, and you shall prepare gold rings, into which you shall insert the stabilizing bars, and you shall overlay the stabilizing bars with gold. And you shall set up the tent according to the pattern shown to you on the mountain. And you shall make a veil out of blue and purple and scarlet twisted yarn and fine spun linen. You shall make it a woven work with cherubim. And you shall place it upon 4 pillars that do not deteriorate, gilded with gold, and their capitals are to be gold, and their 4 bases are to be silver. And you shall place the veil upon the pillars, and you shall carry the ark of the testimony in there, into the innermost veil, and the veil will make a separation for you between the holy place and the Holy of Holies. And you shall cover the ark of the testimony with the veil in the holy.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there.